Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorton. I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib.
From Boston.
And we have a great show for you today. And if you want to call in and ask some questions, 323-870-3857 is the number of your call. We'll be here till about 8:15 tonight. I don't know. Yeah, that's Notorious VC said the Royal Rumble's in this year. BB wants to know who you're picking for the Rumble, huh? How about that? The Royal Rumble.
I'm picking your sister's ass.
You got that? What's the matter with you? Get it together over there. What are you guys doing over there in Boston, man? What are you doing?
I'm just prepared for this snowstorm tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
That's very detailed, you know. Is your weatherman usually that accurate? I mean,
well, we'll see. If it doesn't start snowing at 2 p.m., I'm gonna freaking call my congressman.
I call your congressman.
These fucking fake weathermen.
The fake news weatherman, you know.
Fake news weatherman. Fucking Royal Rumble.
Unbelievable.
That's your Royal Rumble right here, baby.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez is looking to face Billy Joe Saunders in May. So he may be looking over Avni Yildirim, I don't know. And also, too, Ra'eese the Beast Aleem, the new WBA champion. I don't care if the interim, he's champion, son. He's going to be with us about 15, 20 minutes or so. But first, we're going to get started with PBC on Fox, Beeb. Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truax for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Caleb Plant wins a lopsided unanimous decision over Caleb Truax by the scores of 120-108 on all three cards. I mean, this is about as one-sided as you get. Plant dominated every minute of every round here. That stated he actually broke his hand earlier in the fight. From what I understand, it was in the first 4 rounds. At least he claimed he said he broke his hand. I mean, I believe him. I don't need to see x-rays. He said he broke it. He broke it. Listen, man, Plant looked really good in this fight, I thought he looked really good. But I think that everybody that was watching this and as much hype that went behind this fight want to get him into Canelo sweepstakes and everything like that. I think that they were expecting a finish, especially against a guy like Truax. That's kind of why Truax was there. But if he hurt his hand, he hurt his hand, and listen, it's tough to get a guy out there get a guy out of there with both hands, let alone one hand. He looked good. He looked good. I mean, he looked solid. The guy couldn't hit him, couldn't lay hands on him. I don't know if I see him beating Canelo, and furthermore, I don't know if he's a good fighter. I think it's a good match. Is it a match people want to see? That I don't know. B, what was your takeaway here? I mean, he won, like I said, I mean, he did everything he should have done. I mean, he looked good. He dominated the fight. If he broke his hand, he said he broke his hand, so he broke his hand, whatever, and he couldn't get him out of there. Either way, his hand was compromised. But you were expecting a knockout? No? I was expecting a knockout. I was expecting a finish, good finish.
I don't know if you watched the video I did earlier today about this, but
I never watch any of your videos, B.
It's your loss. But anyways, it's hard for me to criticize a guy who won every second and every minute of every round. But I'm gonna be Petty Roosevelt here, and I'm gonna critique the fight. And
Petty Roosevelt.
let's be honest. When we watched that fight last night, we really weren't watching Caleb Plant versus Caleb Truax. We were watching Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez virtually in our minds. We were looking at his performance last night and gauging what he did last night to see how he would do against Canelo Alvarez. And the problem I have with Caleb Plant is I don't like how he gets complacent in there. He coasts. To me, he seems like he just does just enough to win these rounds. He's fighting guys that he's levels above in terms of hand speed, foot speed, skill-wise. He's got every advantage over these guys that he's fighting. He hasn't really fought an athletic, explosive, gifted guy yet. Uzcategui is the biggest name on his resume, and I thought Uzcategui won 5 rounds in that fight. I mean, he did get knocked down twice, 2 flash knockdowns, but he came on strong at the end. And I just don't like how Caleb Plant has this style. Like, he always tries to suck the guy in. So it's like he lets guys come in, and he has a little bit too much confidence in his defense, his upper body movement. And he just doesn't know how to really grab a guy on the inside. He has kind of like a weak clinch. When he grabs guys, he grabs them like up underneath their arms, and then he wraps his arms around and then tucks them down instead of coming over the top and grabbing them. And I thought that he didn't give Truax anything to worry about coming in, so he doesn't really give these guys anything to worry about coming in. He allows these guys to pressure him. And, he has success with the counterpunching, but I'm looking at this style and I'm seeing how he still got hit with some right hands last night because he got a little too complacent. He allowed Truax to come in because he just felt as though, you know what, I can let this guy come in and I'm just going to slip and slide and dip and duck under everything and catch and shoot or whatever. He may land 1, but I'm going to land 4 to his 1. But what happens if you're in there with a guy who's really skilled on the inside, like a David Benavidez, like a Canelo Alvarez? You have a guy like Chris Eubank Jr., who's very explosive. These are the guys that can turn the fight around with 1 punch. They can hurt you with 1 punch and have a fight-changing effect with 1 punch. So I don't like how he just allows the guy to walk in. He has that style where I'm just going to keep sucking this guy into traps. He's constantly like fights off the back foot. He's got no front foot game. Like he doesn't sit down on his punches. He's just pot shotting the guys from the outside. He's really not stepping forward at all. He's really not bending at the knees. He's really not turning into these shots. And I think he has a weak clinch on the inside. And like I said, does just enough to win these rounds. And then when he feels as though he's got enough rounds in the bank, what's he do? He coasts like the second half of the fight. And that's when he started getting hit by the right hands, but from Truax. Truax started hitting him with some decent shots. And then if you watch the Uzcategui fight, same thing. Uzcategui won the last 4 rounds of that fight.
Came on at the end of that fight for sure.
So he just has this attitude about him. Once again, I don't think he has that killer instinct. And I also mentioned as well too, like, Sugar Ray Leonard had a saying, and I repeat this quite often. He said, he goes, there's going to be a time in a fight where you have to just sit down and you got to grit your teeth and you got to plant your feet in that canvas and you got to fight. You can't move the whole fight. And to me, Caleb Plant is kind of like a finesse type guy. I think he's going to have problems with the really skilled, tough inside fighter. And even in the Uzcategui fight, he looked very uncomfortable when Uzcategui was pressuring him. And I just don't like the fact that he doesn't clinch properly on the inside. He grabs like up underneath. So in other words, you do jiu-jitsu, right? Mm-hmm. When you get a guy in a hold, right, your hands and your forearms have to be on top of that guy's hands and forearms. In other words, to gain control, to gain the upper hand, you have to put you have to be, when you're going for a clinch, your hands and arms got to be on top of his. That's how you gain leverage. Or you're doing a choke, your arms and hands got to be above that guy. In other words, you can't go underneath and grab the guy underneath and then try to, tuck his arms underneath your arms, and you can't control a guy like that. And if you notice, go ahead.
What happens is when you're actually to actually control somebody, you go underneath. They call it a clinch, and you kind of pummel underneath his arms. And that way, when you have his body, his arms are above you, your arms are under him, and then you can push him where you want to go. Now, when you get down, that's when you want to control his arms and everything like that.
Because when you're standing up doing that, though, and you're grabbing a guy.
Right.
How do you maneuver a guy? Isn't it more advantageous? Like when you see guys lock up, the guys try to go over the top of each other and grab and then tuck the arms like that, don't they?
Yeah, let me I'll tell you what. Let's hold this thought. Let's hold this thought because we have the champ. The champ is here. Ra'eese, the beast. The beast, son. Now listen, I don't want to listen, man. I don't want to say, I don't want to say, hey, it was our show that kind of put you over the top. I'm just saying that you came on our show and 2 fights later, you got a belt. I don't know. Maybe the luck of the thing. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It was good luck.
It was great luck, man. It was awesome, man.
It was an omen.
Exactly. Hey, I'm gonna get another belt too. Y'all just good luck.
That's right. See, you got to keep coming back. See, you keep coming back, you keep getting belts. That's how we work here. You demolished that guy. And that was a tough guy. Vic Pasillas was a very tough guy. And they were talking him up. And I don't know if you saw the broadcast or not. I know you watched the fight probably a bunch of times, but on the broadcast, they were talking Pasillas up. They were, and he was a good fighter. And you made him look ordinary. I got to be honest. I mean, you took this guy who we know was a good fighter. He's undefeated, 16-0. You were 17-0, and just schooled him. I mean, at no point in that fight was he in control. And I think that for me was the telltale sign that at no point was he ever in control of that fight. Talk to me about it for a little bit.
I mean, so I've just been reflecting on the fight. I don't watch, after I fight, I don't watch my fights right away, so I haven't even seen the fight yet. I'm just, I'm still reflecting on it, just thinking about things, how I can get better and stuff like that. But in the moment, everybody's telling me that I dominated. In the moment, I didn't feel like I was dominating. I knew I had the upper hand, but I just wanted to kind of stay the course. And like you said, he's a great fighter, warrior. He showed up. He brought his A game. I brought my A game, and I dominated. I'm just glad I was able to execute everything I wanted to do, and it worked out.
I think it was after the second knockdown. I think it was in the 6th round, if I'm not mistaken. I know you knocked him down in the second and the 6th. I know it was 4 times, and I believe it was in the 6th round. It's almost like you just saw the steam go out of him. After that second knockdown. Not that he didn't keep trying, but I think it kind of set in that I'm in trouble here. I think for him it kind of set in that that first knockdown you could have said was a flash or whatever the case may be. I didn't think it was, but you could say that. That second knockdown, when he got knocked down twice, that's no accident, man.
Right.
And when you could almost see it go. You could almost see it when I was looking at him, his body language just changed.
Well, after the first knockdown, I just started to smell blood, and I knew I could hurt him. I was doing great body work, and he was grunting, just his expressions and everything. That's probably the first time I fought a guy to where I physically could see the effects right in front of me. That much from a top guy. It's like at this level, you got to be able to disguise it. So I knew I was hurting him. Right. I knew he could feel my power, and I took advantage of it.
Yeah, it was, just a masterful. It really was. I texted Mario after the fight. I said, that was insane. I said, that was incredible, man. And he said, star is born tonight, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, when I fought in August, I fought another top level guy, a tough fight. But I didn't perform the way that I wanted to perform. Everybody was giving me a lot of praise. But like I said after the fight, I'm a better fighter than what I portrayed. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of stuck with me. And I wanted to I didn't want to win a close fight. I wanted to put an exclamation point on my performance along with the win. And I did that, and I'm gonna keep that same energy going into my next fight. It's all about growth, and there's still a lot more work to be done.
Did you think that you were going to stop him going into the fight? Did you have that in the back of your mind that I'm going to stop this guy, because this guy's never been stopped before? He's a tough, rugged guy. He's durable, very skillful fighter. Was that in your mind? Hey, I got it, because you wanted to steal the show. You were right underneath, Stephen Fulton. You wanted to steal the show. As you said, you wanted to put exclamation point on that. But how much were you thinking about that knockout? Did you feel that was going to happen for you?
Well, I want to knock everybody out. Anybody I step in the ring with, I'm trying to stop. Sometimes I just kind of let it come. I didn't think that he could outwork me for 12 rounds. So going into it, like, I know I'm in good condition to go 12 strong, hard rounds. I just didn't believe that that he could. So I figured one way or another, I would either knock him out or I would just overwhelm him. That was the goal. But as the rounds kept going, he's a warrior. He kept getting up. I gave him some opportunities that I probably shouldn't have, and he hung around until the 11th. But I mean, I'm just glad I stopped him.
Another question I wanted to ask you too, because of your martial arts background, I notice you have some unorthodox moves in there, like that hook that you landed in that 11th round that knocked him down. It almost looked like a Wing Chun punch, because you had your arm out here.
We were talking about that, yeah.
Yeah, you had your arm out here. Most guys will kind of torque their shoulder and turn their body. You basically had the leverage from your shoulder to your elbow, and you basically threw that like a Wing Chun punch. Like, in Wing Chun, they throw their punch from the elbow, and you threw that hook like you just like threw it from your elbow, and it was just so short. You still turned in with your hip, obviously, but you launched it from your elbow. And it's hard for a guy to see that because he's looking straight ahead. He's not, he's looking at your silhouette there, your upper body. And a lot of times you can see when the hook's coming because you can see the guy's shoulder torque back a little bit. Right. But you just threw that right from your elbow. How much of an influence, if any, does your martial arts background have in your boxing style? And does any of that carry over?
I believe it does. That's definitely helped me get to this level. It adds another dimension to my fighting style and everything, another dynamic, I guess. Instead of being one-dimensional, I'm diverse, to be able to do that and to be able to stop somebody while doing it, and not being sloppy and getting caught or getting knocked out from doing it, so it's paid off big time. It's fast feet, fast hands. I'm really good on my feet. So yeah, it's definitely paid off for sure.
Okay.
That's what I notice is your footwork. When I see that, you kind of notice it in his footwork, that martial arts background, just the way he moves and everything like that, you could tell, because some of it looks unorthodox to us. It's probably not unorthodox to him, but it looks unorthodox to us, and
it's like with his feet, he creeps up on guys, you know what I mean? Like he has that little creep, that little creep thing. Like, he doesn't just jump in, he kind of creeps and then he jumps, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think I surprised a lot of people with like my first and second step, how fast I can cut the distance and get out the way.
Yeah.
He's so quick too, man. I mean, just quick. A guy, and I said, after that fight, I said, this guy, when we were reviewing that fight, I said, this guy is a problem for anybody. Yeah. Anybody. I mean, you go up a division, you go down a division, you stay in his division, he's a problem. Just by the way he fights, is the power you got, to get a guy out of there like that. I mean, at your weight class, you got some pop for sure.
I've always heard guys saying it in the gym. Oh man, yeah, you can hit this and that, and like I know that I have the elite power, but it's like you have to be able to stop the elite guys. The guys at the top. When you can do that, then you can say you're a real threat.
Yeah. Did you get your belt yet? Where's your belt at?
Oh yeah, I got the belt right here.
Well, put it on camera. What are you doing?
Yeah. Let me grab it. There we go.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Nice,
shiny and everything, boy. Look at that.
Yeah.
Another question I have for you.
That's how you should do every interview right there with the belt on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Every interview like that.
Hey, well, I done slept with it for about 2 days, right by my side. So.
Another question I have for you is, you and Stephen Fulton are the two guys that everyone's has their eyes on right now. You're the two guys everyone has their eyes on right now. You guys are the new two fresh faces, two up and coming guys. But I think both you guys are excellent fighters. I think both you guys are very athletic. You're very quick of feet and quick of hands. You both have very dynamic styles. But I think one thing that separates you from him is your punching power. Do you see that as a definitive difference between yourself and Fulton? And you think that would be a huge advantage for you going into that fight if it was
Yeah,
time?
yeah. I'd say my power, but also my like, you know, when I get in there, I want to hurt you. You know, I'm trying to hurt you. I'm trying to break you down. You know, so like I'm just trying to get you out of there. Fulton, he might try to just box you. You know, or
Yeah.
he, you know, so like my intention is to hurt you. The thing
Killer
about
instinct.
Fulton,
Killer instinct.
right, right. You know, we're both very athletic. You know, he has an extremely high boxing IQ, and so do I. You know, so it would make for a great fight. But I think my power separates me, and the way that I fight. You know, I even if I'm trying to box you, I'm still trying to stop you. I see Fulton just trying to box you just to win, I guess. You know, he's just trying to box to win. I'm trying to box to win, but I'm also trying to box to knock you out.
Yeah, because I was on a podcast earlier in the week, Hispanics Causing Panic. Shout out to Hispanics Causing Panic. And we were talking about, you know, the 122-pound division and the fight that a question was passed around. What fight do you want to see the most? And everyone was saying Aleem versus Fulton. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that fight. And I think you guys got a lot of momentum off that card. I think that that whole card from top to bottom was good. It was entertaining. And I think you guys did your job perfectly. Do you think that though your performance, you kind of outshined them a little bit? You stole the show, or does that even matter? I'm not trying to start beef or anything. Well, maybe I am, but you think you stole the show the way you ended your fight emphatically? He still had a great performance, don't get me wrong, but you closed the deal and he didn't.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I feel like I stole the show, but you know, I can sit here all day, jump up and down and say that. But what I've been hearing from everybody else, that's what they've been telling me. You know, everybody else has been telling me that I stole the show. I was the fight of the night. Every time I'm on these cards, every time, you know, and I'm thankful to be a part of Showtime. Shout out to them. But every time I fought on that stage and everything, people's told me I was the fight of the night. I was the fight of the night. Yeah. You know, so yeah, I think I stole the show for sure. You know, he put on a spectacular performance also. So, I mean, like you said, from top to bottom, it was just a great show.
Do you think he's going to try to avoid you, or do you think he's going to actually fight you? Because he seems to be a little bit dismissive of you right now. And to me, that seems like it's the fight to make, man.
Seems like it's an easy fight to make.
It should be an easy fight to make.
Right.
To me, he doesn't seem too enthusiastic about it. You seem enthusiastic about it.
I wouldn't be enthusiastic about it if I were him either.
But he doesn't. What do you think is going through his mind right now when people ask him, well, don't you want to fight Aleem? Why is he so dismissive of you right now, in your opinion?
I have no idea. I mean, like, it's news to me. Like, I didn't know he was dismissive. I'm willing and ready to fight any of the current world champions, whether it's Stephen Fulton, Figueroa, Louis Nery, you know, Akhmadallah. So it really doesn't matter to me. The fight can be made on my end. So it's all about them, what they're trying to do. You know, if he wants to come to the table, boom, we can make it happen. If any other fighter that has a world title, like, we can make it happen. I didn't know he was being dismissive. At the end of the day, people's always overlooked me, and like, you know, they don't really believe in me, you know, and that's cool. I'm just making them believers. So that's the best thing about flying under the radar.
So it doesn't matter to you. So it doesn't matter to you which one of those guys you fight. You just want to get in there with all of them. It doesn't matter the order.
Well, I mean, the ultimate goal is unification, you know, so it doesn't really matter which one of them comes first as long as I get them all.
Okay.
Logically, though, I mean, in a realistic sense, though, who, you know, because I don't know if anybody's talked to you about your next fight, or who is going to be next for you. Will it be a defense, or will it be a unification, or what will it be?
Well, I'm hoping. Well, I think Figueroa may be the mandatory. I think Figueroa may be the mandatory. So I would love that fight. I'm not sure yet. You know, I got to get with my people. I got to see what's up and what's going on, because I want to get back in there probably by June and make it happen.
So yeah, okay. So explain this to me, and maybe you have a better insight because you at least you have one of the belts here. What is an interim champ? Because they labeled you an interim champ. They labeled Figueroa the champ, or what is that? What does all that mean?
You know what? You gotta let me know. It's
To me, if
it's
you got a
kinda
belt, you're the champ. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of complicated because different sanction bodies and this and that. All the main thing is like Akmadalia has the super belt, that. So all the other belts is cool. Like this belt, like it's amazing, but I want the super belt and I want unification. So it's like, hey, that's all I can really say about it. I'm just trying to unify. I got one, and I gotta keep on at them on the collection.
Right? Yeah, we got to get some more on here, man.
Sure.
Jeez. So what did you do when you were announced champion and when you won the champion? What's the first thing you did after that? Because you sacrificed, a lot of people don't know, you sacrificed quite a bit to get to this point. You moved from Michigan to Las Vegas, didn't know a soul out there. I mean, had no family, no friends, didn't know anybody, and just said, you know what, this is where I need to be. And now you're the champion. What was the first thing you did?
Well, the first thing I did was book a ticket to Florida because my daughter lives in Florida now. So it's like I made the ultimate sacrifice. Moving away from her to pursue this, so I can provide a better future for myself and her.
Right.
So I wanted to wait until after I got the win to really book the trip and figure some things out and everything. So yeah, I already got the trip booked, and I'm gonna spend some time with her. That was like the first thing.
Yeah, for sure. I bet that's got to feel great, man. That's got to feel great.
Yeah, no, it does. It feels amazing. Like, everything's coming together. Everything that I've foreseen, I've foreseen this moment, so just making it happen it feels pretty amazing.
Man, well, I'll tell you what, when you win your next belt, man, don't forget, we're here. We're the little guy. So, you got to come back on and show off the belts and everything like that,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey, y'all giving me good luck. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter who I fight. I'm going to get that win.
When do you think the next fight's going to be, or are you just waiting on the call?
Well, I'm kind of waiting on the call, but I'm hoping June. I'm hoping by June, it's not a super long layoff. I can get the fans what they want, and hopefully it's a big fight.
We're hoping for a big name.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
Sir.
That's
for sure.
Right. Full speed ahead, 0 to 100 real quick.
That's right.
Exactly,
The beast.
Exactly.
Ra'eese Aleem, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, real quick, do you have like a social media or anything like that?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Ra'eese Aleem Boxing.
Okay.
After I fought in August, I was low key on social media because I knew something big was coming, and I just didn't want any distraction. So in the coming days and weeks, I'm gonna be more active and posting videos.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, at Ra'eese Aleem Boxing on Instagram. All right, Ra'eese, man, thank you so much. Congratulations, and we will talk to you soon, man. Thank you so much.
All right, for sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
Take care, man.
That is awesome, man.
So getting back to what I was saying about the other thing. So I guess in boxing, if you go underneath, the guy can slide his hands out and still punch.
Yeah.
That's why I think in boxing, you go.
That's why in boxing you tie up over the top. So to keep him from punching, right?
Is that correct? Me saying that?
Yeah, it is. In wrestling or in like a jiu-jitsu, you want to have underhooks, what they call underhooks. And when you have underhooks, he can still hit and everything like that, but you control, because you can lift him up and walk him to wherever you want to go.
So I'm watching him clinch, and like Paulie Malignaggi says, accept the clinch. And to me, I think there's a big difference between clinching and holding. Clinching is basically to gain control over your opponent, control him, grab him so you can maneuver him and not allow him to punch you.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys hold in desperation because they're running out of ideas. The guy just comes in there and they just grab like that. And I noticed last night that's what he does when Truax gone inside, he would grab him up underneath, and Truax was able to pull his hands free. He just wasn't quick enough to do it, to really do enough damage. He clinches a Canelo like that or a David Benavidez like that, where they can slide one hand out.
Yeah.
He's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He won the fight. But again, when we're watching him fight, we're envisioning him against someone else.
Right.
We already know he's gonna beat Truax, okay?
Yeah.
And the whole thing about the hand, I just got to be honest about that. Now,
oh, he's a friend of the show. What's the matter with you?
That's fine, but we still have to give our friends tough love every now and then, and we got to be objective. We can't we can be biased, but we still got to be objective.
Stop it, babe. Come on,
Eric. All right, so he goes like this. Well, I think I broke my hand somewhere in between the fourth and the fifth, the first and the fifth.
The first third of the fight or something like that.
Okay, I broke my rib. I broke my rib before. I thought I broke my wrist, but it actually ended up being like a tendonitis. When you feel that sharp, stabbing, acute pain go through your body, you know what did it, how it happened, and when it happened. There's no, okay, I think I broke it. First of all, so when you break your hand, when you broke your hand, and you know what you did to break your hand, because you're going to feel that sharp pain. Like when I broke my rib, the guy hit me in the rib. I felt like friggin' a stiletto stabbed me right in the friggin' right in the ribs, right in the friggin' gut. I felt it. That's number one. Then number two, after the fight when they were interviewing him, he's sitting there going like this with his fingers, moving his hands like this, clutching his hands together. You got a broken hand. You're holding your hand like this. You're not moving it. So again, you didn't knock the guy out because you couldn't, not because you injured your hand.
But Floyd always said, like, he always seemed to know. Him and like Pernell Whitaker always seemed to know.
Everybody knows because
when they broke it, You
know when you break your hand. You like when Floyd used to have hand problems and stuff. Paulie Malignaggi, you ever hurt his hand after a fight? He would hold his hand, like cradle it like this and not move it. You can't move your fingers when you break your hand, Eric. You can't like he's sitting there being interviewed and then he grabs his hands together and he holds his hands like this, like together like this,
right
down by his waist. You can't do that with a broken hand. So he didn't break his hand. He didn't break his hand. I mean, I'm sorry. He just didn't break his hand. It's just, I'm sorry. He didn't do it.
And I think, that's kind of like our job. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. When we look at it, we say it's hard to be critical when he won every round. I get that. But you have to be critical because in the same sense, we're critical with Canelo. We're critical with Benavidez. We're critical with Billy Joe Saunders because now you're at that elite level.
100%. You
at that elite level now. Everybody can fight. Everybody can fight.
Based on what I saw last night, Canelo stops him within 7 or 8 rounds. I don't even think it's competitive. Him.
I don't know if he stops him that early, but I think it might look a lot like the Canelo and
worse.
The last fight he just had. Yeah.
Worse.
Callum Smith. Yeah.
Worse.
Smith.
It's gonna look worse.
Yeah. Does he have the other thing I was thinking about this? Truax kept coming forward throughout the fight. Now, he wasn't really being effective when he was coming forward.
He was being somewhat effective. He just didn't have the hand speed to be able to put 2 or 3 together.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the punching power to make that one punch count. Go back and watch that fight. He was laying that overhand right.
What do you do? I mean, like, if you're Caleb Plant, does he have enough power to keep Canelo off him? That's what I would worry about.
Yeah, he's not physically strong. He doesn't know how to clinch on the inside either. He's not physically strong enough. He just he's a back foot counterpunch fighter. That's all he is.
Canelo's a strong guy.
Canelo's going to destroy him.
This weight, he is really, really strong.
Fight's not competitive. Why do you think it didn't happen? Again, they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight Canelo right away. They're going to. This is the PBC playbook. This is what they do. And again, I drank the Kool-Aid. I fell for the okie doke several times. I've defended all these PBC fighters time and time again, but guess what? There's a pattern here. I believe, in my opinion, they're told not to fight these guys and just keep fighting the in-house fights and push them fights off as long as they can. Because first of all, most of the fighters are PBC fighters at 168. So then they put themselves in position to collect all the belts so they can get leverage over the guy from across the street. And where did that term come from, across the street? They started that term, the PBC. Yeah. Okay? So their whole plan, to me, is to wait these guys out. Wait till they're like Crawford, for instance. He's 34 years old. The longer they wait, Spence waits to fight Crawford, the better it is for Spence.
Sure. Oh, for sure.
Right?
Just like Canelo with Golovkin, too. I mean, longer he waited,
Same thing. Floyd Pacquiao. He waited for Pacquiao to lose to Bradley and get knocked out by Marquez. Boom. I'll sign me.
I'm all over the fight now.
And it's the PBC playbook. They all do it. Same thing with Charlo. Charlo, no Golovkin fight, no Canelo fight. They're going to wait for these guys to get old. You know what they want? They want Canelo to do all the heavy lifting. They want Canelo to fight all these tough fights, get the miles on the tank. They want him to get, let him get beat up, taking all these tough fights while they're taking their little gimmies over there, right? And then they want to collect all the belts, whatever. Spence is going to get all the belts, and then when he sits down with Crawford, he's going to lowball him. He's going to lowball him.
What I read from Caleb Plant, he said his manager, I think it was his manager, said that if they would have accepted the Canelo fight, it would have been 4 weeks. I think they said 4 weeks to get ready. 4 or 5. Yeah, okay.
5 weeks. The same 5 weeks. The same 5 weeks.
They wanted more time. They wanted more time to get ready, so they would not take the fight. Now, take that for what it's worth, but yeah, that was what they came out and said.
The same 5 weeks that Callum Smith got, and the same 5 weeks that Canelo Alvarez got.
Well, and the funny thing, right? Well, that's the other thing is the same 5 weeks Canelo Alvarez got. But the funny thing about that is, you say, well, look what happened to Callum Smith. Again, though, he had a short training camp. Listen, he could have had 6 months to train for that fight. He was not beating that guy.
But these guys were always in the gym anyways, getting ready because they were all waiting on the call.
Yeah,
they were sure. Like again. I've watched guys go through training camps, and the first 3 weeks of a camp, it's an 8-week camp generally. First 2 to 3 weeks is conditioning, just getting back into the flow of things. You don't even start sparring till like the fourth or fifth week in a camp.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know.
Conditioning, they should have been. I mean, conditioning is a big thing.
He should have been ready condition wise. I don't know. I don't think if they had 10 weeks, they would have taken the fight, to be honest with you. I just think they're going to wait till the very end to fight Canelo. That fight won't happen till probably the end of next year, in my opinion.
I don't even know if it happens then, because David Benavidez is lurking around there. He's with the PBC as well. And I think there might be some pressure to make that fight happen, because that's a big fight. It's in-house.
He's probably going to fight Andre Durrell next. Then after he fights Andre Durrell next, he's probably going to fight Uzgataki in a rematch. Again, I just can't keep falling for it.
He definitely needs a signature win, though. I mean,
he
he really does. Now he's got a belt. All right. And he's a champion. I get that. But he does need a signature win, and he doesn't have that. So he needs like a guy like Benavidez, which
Benavidez will kill him.
That ain't all that easy to do.
Benavidez will destroy him.
But the advantage that he would have in the Benavidez fight is he's active. Benavidez not active, and that plays a part. I think that plays a part. Now, whether he wins or not, I don't know. Benavidez is very, very good.
Well, here's the thing. Who did Callum when was Callum Plant's last fight before this one?
I can't remember.
So. I mean, all these guys have been on long layoffs. Benavidez. So Benavidez will be getting in there soon. He's been sparring. He's been working out hard. I've been seeing a lot of footage of him working out. He's doing 12 rounds at a time. I mean, we have to always be concerned about David Benavidez because of his discipline. We always have to question that because he hasn't made weight. The cocaine situation. So I mean, that's always.
He's got a lot of demons out there, doesn't he? I mean, he really does.
Got a lot of caveats. So I mean, he still has to prove that he can come in, in the best possible condition. But either way, I just think David Benavidez is just.
He's a good fighter. He's a real good fighter, man. I think he might be
He's
him and Canelo. I think him and Canelo. If David Benavidez on a good day, but here we are talking about it again. David Benavidez. Remember, we used to talk about Keith Thurman on a good day. If it's Keith Thurman shows up, like Keith Thurman shows up, he beats Pacquiao, or he beats this guy and that guy. It's tough to talk like that because listen, I like the guys that are consistent.
No,
Canelo shows up, you're gonna fight.
Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna have a fight on your hands, man.
Can't question that. There's no doubt.
Like when Floyd fought, hey, he can go 12 rounds, so you better have something in the tank. You're gonna get tired, you're gonna lose.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
And that's how you see them separated with with the way they show up. It's that consistency.
No, I agree.
The rest of this undercard was just kind of okay for me. Michael Coffey versus Darmani Rock. Whew, wow. I think it was on a Milcar, on a Milcar's Twitter page or whatever. He had a picture of Darmani Rock, and he was like, bruh. He looked like me out there in the boxing trunks. I mean, he was just that guy did not look like I don't know if he didn't know he was going to be on TV or what. But he didn't look like he was in any semblance of shape there. Thank you, D-Style, early on. Thank you so much, man. And also to MEZ Box as an example of the PBC playbook. There's rumors of Tank fighting Abner Maris, at least fight Chris Colbert. Abner hasn't fought in 2 years. Yeah, he's right. He's right. Michael Coffey did knock out Darmani Rock in the third round via TKO, won the fight via TKO. Joey Spencer wins via first round TKO over Isaiah Selden. This was a weird kind of fight. Spencer knocked him down in the first round. Isaiah Selden came back and threw about 2 or 3 shots and tried to clip him in the back of the head. And the referee took away 2 points, I guess, for intentional. So, I mean, as it stood, it would have been a 6-4 round or a 10-6 round, excuse me. But Spencer knocked him down again. Selden got up, wobbled around, and then protested that the fight was stopped. It wasn't his night, man. Spencer, anyway, moves to 12-0.
It wasn't his night.
And he looks good, man. He continues. That's a guy that continues to get better and better, man.
Yes.
He reminds me, he's a young kid. He's a worker. He's just getting better and better, man. And then Rancis Bartholomew versus Ali Rivera. Bartholomew wins a 10-round decision over Rivera. It was a unanimous decision, 97-93, 99-91, and 190. Yeah, not much to say about that fight. That was a tough one to watch. Tough one to watch to me. So I don't know. On King Vision. Isn't that what it used to be called, King Vision? You remember King Vision back in the day?
Yeah.
He used to call it King Vision pay-per-view or whatever. It was King Vision. I don't know what they called it. So I just said King Vision. I don't know. That was what he used to call it. Maybe he calls it, Dono Might now. I don't know what he calls it now. But on King Vision pay-per-view, he put together a card. So here's the deal with this. They didn't even know the card was going to come off. And this was like as soon as like Tuesday of the week. They didn't even know if this card was even going to come off. That's how far Don King has fallen from the echelon, man. I mean, like, he used to be the guy, man. And now, So he put on the WBA Interim Heavyweight Championship, Trevor Bryan versus Bermain Stavern. I didn't watch it because this was on pay-per-view. Yeah, it was on pay-per-view, son. Yeah. I don't know where on pay-per-view, but it was on there.
Where could you buy it?
Website. Huh?
Where could you buy it?
I have no idea. I wasn't even that interested to see how much it was or where you could even buy it.
Xvideos.com.
Xvideos. I was there all weekend. You couldn't find it there. I can vouch for that. All right. Trevor Bryan wins via TKO in the 11th round over Bermain Stavern. Yay. And then now I guess he's going to be a mandatory for Manuel Char, who's the current WBA champion and in some semblance, I guess.
Oh, God.
I guess he's the champion in recess now. He hasn't fought in 3 years, Beeb. 3. How is he still a champion?
Where was he all this time? What's he been doing?
I don't know. He's still not fighting.
See, what's he got, a lemonade stand somewhere or something?
Yeah, right. I mean, well, he had to get a day job, no? I mean, he wasn't making that. I mean, he couldn't have been pulling down crazy jackets.
I thought I saw him at Home Depot the other day, trying to sell wrenches, I guess. I don't know. Where was he?
Loading my car up the other day.
Yeah. He Put some wood on the dolly for me.
Nacho says it was on Fight TV for $20.
Figured this kid would know.
Did Nacho, did you watch it?
He probably bought it.
I wonder if I bet he did. I bet he bought it.
$20 that you'll never get back.
He did. He bought it. He totally bought it, son.
$20 you'll never get back. You degenerate.
Oh, Jesus.
You degenerate.
He got standards, son. Come on.
The Ringside Reporter t-shirt I sent you cost more than that pay-per-view.
Who do you think, incidentally, gets more pay-per-view buys? The Clarissa Shields pay-per-view or the Trevor Bryant Berman Stavern pay-per-view?
Come on, Eric.
Stavern and Bryant.
The women's pay-per-view is going to do way better than that. Stop. Will you stop hating on the females, please?
I'm not. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to do well. It's a good idea.
No, you don't want it to do well, so you can crack these one-liners.
One-liners.
You need it to do bad for your monologue. Sadistic person that you are.
Sadistic. All right, let's go to the schedule here, and hopefully I won't botch this like I did last week. So last week, it was brought to my attention that there was a bunch of fights. Well, there was one, the heavyweight card I didn't even announce, and I looked back. I was like, man, I sure didn't announce that, did I? I didn't even realize it was this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you forgot the Caleb Plant fight.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Hey, even I have off days, you know.
Hey, whatever, man. I mean, that's why we have people in the chat. They're supposed to support us.
Right. Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know. You should have let us know right away. Why'd you wait till after the show to leave a comment on the archive?
You guys missed it too.
So you're supposed to jump in and say, "Don't forget about the Caleb Truax fight."
I depend on you. And
you guys supposed to have we gave you guys wrenches in the chat to help us out. Now earn your keep.
That's why we give you
wrenches. Your keep, or those wrenches are coming back.
Take them back. Just you know what?
Take them right back. Throw them right back in the toolbox.
Take them back.
Take them right back and throw them right back in the toolbox. Those wrenches will come back. Shape up, you guys in the chat.
That's right. Sometimes you gotta, throw your weight around and you
gotta put your foot down. Sometimes you gotta let them know what the ground rules are.
That is it. That's it. All right. So the Super Bowl is this weekend. Oh, by the way, just so remind you guys too, the Super Bowl is next weekend, next Sunday. We'll be coming on at 12 noon next Sunday. And then after that, we'll go back to our regular schedule for the rest of the year. It's the way it goes, man.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it, man.
You know what's funny? Yeah, okay, so this is great. So Lisa, her birthday is on the 21st. So it'll happen to fall on a Sunday this year. And she says, I guess Elena was talking to her, and she says, well, Daddy will move his show. He'll move the show to noon so we can have the birthday or whatever. And she looked at Elena, she says, he's not moving his show.
You're moving it for the Super Bowl, but you're not moving it for Lisa.
Okay. Just so I can clarify this, I don't move it for me. I move it so you guys aren't going to come in and tune in. Why would you? You know what I mean? You guys want to watch the Super Bowl. We accommodate that.
Fucking bullshit honest you are. All week you're talking about, can't wait to see this football game. Can't wait to see this football game. Get the fuck out of here.
I meant for everybody else. I want you guys to have a good time. I don't mean I'm going to watch. I'm not going to watch it.
Okay. You dug yourself a big enough hole already.
All right. So no fights next weekend. No fights scheduled anyway. I don't know why they don't have a fight on Saturday.
Should do
especially a Super Bowl weekend.
We should do a Super Bowl preview show next week.
We should. I gotta have Antonio in here. He knows about both teams. So
I gotta start doing my homework. I know shit about football.
Yeah, right.
Brady. I can talk about Brady.
Yeah, you can talk about Brady. He's in it.
Brady's back.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That they have a tough one against the Chiefs. That Chief team.
Yeah, they're really good, right?
Crazy defense. But here's the good thing. They're going to be playing in Tampa Bay. That's got to give them a lift.
It's got to, right? I mean, that's home field advantage, right? I mean, home field.
When do you get home court advantage in the Super Bowl? When does that ever happen?
It's happened a couple times, but never
Has
in the
it?
home stadium. Never in the home stadium. I remember like Frisco played in Stanford against Miami in the Super Bowl. And then there's been a couple teams that have played like in the state or something like that.
But not in the home stadium.
No, not in the home
Well, this
stadium.
is a
Big.
first. And
Yeah,
Tampa,
pretty
and,
big.
and Tampa's got a beautiful stadium, huh?
Oh, it's nice, man. Yeah, that whole place is nice.
I got you.
Georgie said it the best. Eric is self-sacrificing for the people. That's right. It's what I'm doing. It's what I do. And you know what? I'm happy to do it for you.
They appreciate it, Eric.
February 13th, we got Joe Smith Jr. 2 weeks from now, Joe Smith Jr. versus Maxim Vlasov for the vacant WBO light heavyweight title. I would like to see Joe Smith get that belt.
Oh, I would love to see Joe
I would
Smith
love to see him get that belt, right?
Why
How
is
great
it?
is that?
Oh, because Canelo vacated it after he won it. I got you.
Yeah. Was it him or was it Better Beef? Not Better Beef, but Bevo?
No, Kovalev had
Kovalev,
it.
yeah, Kovalev, yeah.
Kovalev had it, and then Canelo knocked him out.
That's
And
what it
then
was.
and then he vacated and moved back down to 168. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh,
Richard Comey. Yeah, Richard Comey is also on that undercard too against Jackson Martinez. That should
yeah.
be a squash. Let's see what else we got here. Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara, 10 rounds featherweights, and that's for no belt because Warrington gave it up.
That was a bad move.
It was a bad move. That was stupid. That was just dumb.
I just don't get that one.
That was just dumb, son.
I don't understand that one at all.
Nope. No, so now instead of fighting a 12-rounder, now you fight a 10-rounder.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
I can't figure that one out.
Let's see here. And then there's a couple other fights, but nothing to tiff about. So yeah, so that's coming up in a couple weeks. So yeah, man, some good fights on the horizon. And it's starting to pick up too. I mean, like boxing in general is starting to pick up now too with the schedule and everything. And it seems like so Canelo's gonna fight Yildirim. And I know those tickets went on sale, I think, this week. He's gonna fight him in Miami, like in that stadium.
That's nice.
The one thing I don't know, like how many tickets are going to be sold for that.
Well,
I don't know.
But here's the thing: you're talking about Florida. That governor Ron DeSantis,
It's like the Wild West. He's doing everything down there, man.
He's basically has very minimal restrictions there, man.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like Georgia too. I think Georgia's kind of the same way.
Yeah, all them red states.
The cities are a little bit different in Georgia, but all the whole state, they don't care.
I mean, we have a Republican governor, but he's very, very moderate. He's as close to the center as you can get, really.
Yeah,
he's running a tight ship over here, but even he's not locking it down like Cuomo and the rest of those guys. He's done a pretty good job up here, our governor. But that Ron DeSantis, he's acting like that, like there's nothing even going on right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And he's been like that for a while now.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a decent size. They may not be full capacity, but they'll still have, a substantial amount of attendance, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah, I wonder, man, because that's February. I mean, you know, hopefully people get their shots and can go. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't feel comfortable right now in there.
No, I wouldn't do it unless I've had COVID already, but I don't even know.
Yeah, you're immune to it for a couple months anyway.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, so you'd be okay, I think.
I don't know if I get the other strain, but I heard the other strain's not as bad as the I don't know.
Which one?
There's supposed to be this UK strain or some shit like that now. It's supposed to be not as dangerous, not as deadly, but more contagious, I guess. That's the thing.
Yeah, what were they saying? That there's another strain from South Africa or something like that that's supposed to be super contagious or something like that.
There's like 50 COVIDs out there right now.
It's done mutated, son.
It's like Friday the 13th, part 13, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, it's getting out of control.
What was that corny movie we watched the other day, man? Me and Lisa watched a movie. I don't know what it was, but it's one of the newer movies or whatever, and it's about like the COVID thing. It's like COVID 21 or something like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and then everybody's like locked down and everything. You can't leave your house, and it's like I don't know. It was corny though. I can't remember what was the name of that. I can't remember the name of that movie. If you guys know it, tweet it out or whatever, because don't watch it though. It was just corny. You
I
know,
watched that Wonder Woman, that Wonder Woman 1984, whatever.
Oh, wow, yeah,
It
she's
wasn't-
all right. Yeah.
It
When
wasn't
she was
that
no good. You didn't like her.
Eric, please. That movie wasn't really that good, man. Take it easy.
That's what I heard. I heard DC
Wasn't that-
can't make movies, man.
No, they make better animated movies than Marvel, but Marvel makes better cinematic movies.
You can't mess with Marvel when it comes to movies, man. They're just good.
Yeah.
They're all really good, you know.
Yeah.
The Iron Man is pretty. I don't even like that stuff. Like I'm not even a big comic book guy or whatever. But like
I'm a
the
nerd.
Avengers were pretty good.
I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd.
And then I tried to watch that Batman or whatever, that Batman versus Superman. I was like, wow, that's gonna be a really good one, you know. And that movie was terrible, son.
Yeah, a lot of those DC movies get bad reviews.
JC said Ocean's 11 inches. What's wrong with that guy?
All right, take it easy.
A den of putas.
Everyone's had a little bit too much coffee in the chat tonight.
Did you Ambitious wants to know if you watched WandaVision?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Is that any good? It looks kind of corny. Yeah, it looks kind of corny.
What is that on? Is that on
Disney,
oh, that's on HBO Max too, right? That's on HBO Max
HBO
too?
Max or Disney. I think it's got to be on Disney, no?
Is that on Disney or HBO Max? I may check that out.
HBO Max is nice. I was watching that today.
There was a movie I was watching at Denzel, The Little Things. I haven't finished watching it
Did you
yet.
watch that?
I haven't watched the end of it yet, so don't kill me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't. Oh, anyway, what happens at the end is he goes. And
I'm three quarters. I was watching it today, but I couldn't finish watching it. I'm gonna watch. Denzel Washington is like my favorite actor of all time.
Yeah, it's really good. That guy who played Freddie Mercury, the one guy who's in it, the other detective.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good too.
Yeah, he's good too. Yeah.
Really good.
Contagion's the name of that movie.
Contagion. Yeah, don't rent that movie because it sucks.
Bad, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible. Is it Contagion? I don't think it is Contagion. No, Contagion's the one with Matt Damon or whatever.
Disney Plus. I'm thinking of subscribing to Disney Plus. There's a lot of sci-fi stuff on there that I'd probably like to watch. I like the Teen Titans. They have like that show, the Teen Titans, on there. That's pretty good. But I was streaming that. So I was streaming that from some other web service. Ask Lisa what the movie is. She may know.
Yeah, I'm calling her now.
Songbird.
Is it Songbird? I think it might be. Yeah, I think he's right.
Yeah. So what's it about? Like, what's it about? These people were locked in their house because there was like.
Yeah, it's and you can only go certain places, and you had to have like a certain card to get out of your house. And
why? Because there was a virus going on. Or something?
COVID. It was COVID. No, they actually said it was like COVID-21 or something like that.
Oh, so they made a movie about COVID already?
Yeah, already. Hey, what was the name of that whack movie we were watching, man? That one, was it Songbird? The one about that COVID thing? You remember?
Pandemic?
Oh, I think it was called Songbird. Yeah, bring her in here, trying to get the straight up, and this is what happens. You just, I'm doing my show. Now you put the show on hold. Just go. Go on.
Skedaddle.
Skedaddle. All right. So Canelo's going to fight. Okay, so Canelo's going to fight on the 27th, February 27th against Avni Yildirim. And according to ESPN, Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders have agreed to a title unification bout in May. This is coming from ESPN's Bart Kriegel. Okay, and Ringside Robbie actually broke this news to me earlier in the week. He texted me and said that this is what he read or whatever. So he's definitely he's definitely looking past Yildirim, which I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that difficult of a fight. But yeah, so I mean, so he's fighting. So he's already set to fight Billy Joe Saunders. That's his two DAZN fights. That'll be his 2 fights on DAZN or whatever. That's his 2 fights, and then he's a free agent again. I like Billy Joe Saunders. I like the way he's not going to have enough power to keep Canelo off him. I get it. But that guy can box. That guy is really good.
Yeah. And
I can see him giving Canelo fits.
Yeah, I can see him giving Canelo problems because he's slicker, he's craftier, and he has a little sneaky inside game too. That's not his forte, but he has that little short left hand and a short uppercut on the inside. He's a crafty guy. I think he's better than Plant, to be honest with you.
I think he's better. Yeah, Saunders has always been one of my favorites. He really is. Just
he's
the way
got a lot of experience. Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
lot of experience.
he's very, very good. Very good fighter, man. So
I don't think he'll win, but he'll make the fight interesting.
I think he's going to make it real interesting. And listen, man, it could be a lot like that Arislandi Lara fight for Canelo.
Yeah.
Really, really good. He's that good. Saunders is that good. He's just a different kind of cat, man. This is one of the biggest fights has been signed, Beeb, for April. Jake Paul, Cincinnati's own. Ohio's own. Jake Paul and Ben Askren are set to box on April 17th on Triller. It's in pay-per-view, Beeb. Pay-per-view. Nothing? Crickets? Nothing?
Nah, I can't.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
I'm not feeling that one, bro.
Oh, how dare you? It's Ben Askren.
I'm not feeling that one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not feeling it either.
I'm not crazy about Ben Askren.
Yeah, I'm not real crazy about him either. He can wrestle, but I don't know if he can box. I mean, he's got to be able to box, right?
No,
I don't know if he can box like Paul can box.
No, he can't box, bro.
I don't know.
He can box oranges.
He could box on my groceries while he's putting them in the car.
Oh.
Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez getting set for May 8th. ESPN is reporting top-ranked CEO Bob Arum has reserved the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on May 8th for the long-awaited 140-pound unification fight between IBF and WBA champion Josh Taylor, the WBC, WBO champion Jose Ramirez.
Looking forward to that one. Can't wait for that one.
Fight, man. This is the fight.
What do you like?
Josh Taylor.
I like Ramirez.
He can box, man.
Yeah,
he's got more ways to win. To me, he's got more ways to win because he can knock you out. He's got power. He can put you away, and he can also outbox him.
You think he's the better boxer?
I do. I do think he's the better boxer.
I think Ramirez is a little bit tougher on the inside than him.
Yeah.
I like Ramirez.
Yeah. G-Funky likes Ramirez too. JC likes Ramirez. JC also asks, is Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao still on? They've really thrown some water on that one. So earlier, I don't know if we talked about this last week. I don't know when it came out because it was just one of those things when I saw, I was like, I don't want to see it. Manny Pacquiao versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was tweeting out these fight posters with him and Pacquiao on it. Listen, man, it was one of those fights that I'm not real excited to see. Pacquiao's a lot heavier. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know. Beeb, does that fight even appeal to you?
Yeah, it does.
How dare you? What's the matter with you?
It's like one of them fights, man. I don't. You know what it is? It's like one of those fantasy matchups. I don't know.
I'd rather watch. I don't know. I'd rather watch Jake Paul and.
Nah, come on, bro.
I don't know. Come on, that's not even.
But here's the thing, man. Like, what's Pacquiao doing? I guess they demoted him to champion in recess, and then they elevated your Dennis Ugas to the full champion. I'm kind of happy that they elevated.
He deserved
it. But Pacquiao shouldn't get any title. He shouldn't
get any title.
You're done.
That's it. Thank you, Ohio Runs Boxing. We appreciate it. He says Josh Taylor wins that fight easy. Hey, wow. Ohio, son. Wow. Ohio. The Ryan Garcia Pacquiao fight to me, it wasn't all that appealing. And Garcia really put a lot of promotion into this early in the week, just tweeting it out all the time. Golden Boy came out and said that fight's not happening. Oh, wow. He said that fight's not happening. And the guy that handles Ryan Garcia said no. The guy, Eric Gomez, said the fight's not happening. The guy who handles Garcia, like his management or whatever, says, yeah, there's a door open to have this fight happen. And we're looking into it now. I don't know.
What's Pacquiao's game plan? Is he going to retire or what's he going to do?
I have no idea. But now that Ugas is elevated to WBA, he's the champ now. Errol Spence and him are going back and forth on Twitter. They want to make that fight happen. That fight can happen next week.
Are they talking talking trash now, or what are they doing?
Not necessarily talking trash, but talking about unification and stuff like that. And the thing is, they're right there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're right in house. This fight cannot be any easier to make.
Listen, I thought Ugas beat Porter. I think I had that.
Porter. That
I
fight
think I
was
had that fight like
close.
9-3, 8-4. I can't remember.
Yeah, that fight was not close. Las Vegas' own Sean Porter lost that fight.
Yeah, he lost that fight.
Yeah. So yeah, Ugas is the champ, man, for sure. To me, anyway, he's the champ. And I like him and Spence. That's a fight I want to see. That's a good fight. That is a solid fight, man. And so hopefully they make that happen because that's an easy fight to make. It's doable. Yeah. I mean, that's one you don't even have to put on pay-per-view. That's one you can put on Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not many people are going to know who Ugas is. But yeah, I think I think it, that's one of those fights, man. I think if they showcase it right, he's going to be huge. I think that's a great, great fight. I really do. All right, let's go to the phones real quick. 805. I think this is Nacho. 805, you're live.
Nacho. I can't believe you bought that King Vision pay-per-view.
Did you really
Nacho.
buy that?
No.
Oh, now he's gonna backtrack.
Don't lie. You had your eyes glued. You had your eyes
glued, son.
Your eyes were glued.
What did you think of that pay-per-view, Nacho? Did you like it? Was it pretty cool? Who were the announcers?
Can you break those fights down for us?
No, I have no idea. It was on Twitter. They announced that it was going to be on Fight TV and that it was on sale for $20. That's the only reason why I know about it.
It was probably $39 at the beginning of the week.
Did you get a refund?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you claim it on your taxes?
No, no. I wrote it off as a business expense, No, I didn't bother watching that horrible card.
It was awful.
So,
wasn't it?
yeah,
how bad was that?
I just knew about it because it came out on my Twitter timeline. Just as far as the fights last night, man, I don't know. I just don't see it with Plant. He's a decent fighter. I mean, he's got skills, but I mean, they're doing him a big time disservice giving him these guys lately. Like, how is he supposed to prove that he's one of the best fighters in the division fighting the guys he's fighting lately? Like, it's kind of hard to take them seriously as him being a legit contender to fight Canelo when you're giving him guys that have absolutely no chance of beating this guy. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about Plant. He won, but, it was it's a boring UD. Like, he did nothing to try to step on the gas and, take Truax out, who was there to be taken out. This was a showcase fight.
That's why he was there.
For Plant.
Yep.
And instead he just coasted and basically, won a glorified sparring session. And at this point, I just don't see that guy being able to do anything to Canelo. I would even favor Billy Joe Saunders over Plant right now if they met up. That's how little I think of Caleb Plant at this point.
Well, I would too.
Billy Joe Saunders is a good fighter, man.
Would spank him. Yeah.
That'd be a good fight. That's the fight I'd like to see. That's a good fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that either. But at this point, the way the PBC's operating, man, they're not trying to give anything near a live body to Caleb Plant at this point. It almost seems like they're just waiting for him to either cash out against Canelo or maybe even fight Benavidez if Benavidez can make 168. That's what it kind of feels like with those guys. And the other fights, man, Darmani Rock, I had heard about him years ago, and a lot of people thought he could be a legitimate heavyweight contender, but it just seems like his career has just kind of been in the crapper the last few years, hasn't been really active. And when he has been active, he's fighting guys that are no-hopers. So
wasn't he on that One Chicks card?
Yesterday?
Hey, B, you remember Darmani Rock? Wasn't he on that One Chicks card? The what was her face that came on here? You remember she was promoting that fight in Philly?
Oh God!
Was it the Raging?
Oh, Raging Babe. Yeah, Raging Babe.
Is that her? Yeah, yeah. Michelle. I don't know.
Chick. That one chick.
They all run together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was on. Yeah, he's on her.
Yeah, I think he was on her card. That's how I remembered him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling Raging
Babe. Because he is from, I think, Philadelphia. So. Yeah, that that was tough to watch. Him get beat down yesterday by Coffey, but who knows? Maybe Coffey is the one that has a future in the sport. Because
maybe
he didn't look all that bad last night. He probably needs a few more fights, but I think that guy, if he gets a few more fights, maybe he becomes a legit contender at heavyweight for the PBC. So who knows with that. And then the other fight, Spencer against. I get it. The kid is like in the development mode, but Isaiah Seldon, like, isn't it time that he kind of got past the Isaiah Seldons of the world, Eric Embiid?
Wow,
that's just my feeling.
Wow, that was rough.
I think the kid can play better competition.
Wow, that was rough.
I don't know. That's just how I feel.
But Notch, you've always been hard on these guys.
What are you doing, man? You trying to get them beat us? What are you doing?
If you were a manager, a lot of your fighters
Canelo in or something like that.
Yeah, if you were a manager, if you were a fight manager, a lot of your fighters would be in the hospital right now.
Yeah, right. They're trying to get them murdered.
You gotta be a little more.
Walk, son.
You gotta be patient now. Come on.
I understand.
I want to throw everyone to the wolves now. That's not right. That's not right.
Man, I thought he had a good performance. You over there dumping on him. It's cold-blooded now.
Okay, let me just ask you this, guys. Let me just ask you this. What legitimately is the difference between Joey Spencer and Edgar Berlanga right now?
How dare you?
They both have almost the same amount of fights. They're not very far apart in age. One guy's getting killed for knocking dudes dead every first round, but yet the other kid is in the developmental stage, and he's right around his age.
He's he, like 18?
That's my problem sometimes with.
What is that kid, like 18 or something like that?
Spencer's about to be 21.
Whatever, it's still
Spencer's
young.
Can't even walk into a strip joint right now. Come on.
He can't even do that.
Can't even walk into a strip joint right now. He's not even legit.
I've seen him there.
He's not even legit. Berlanga's at clubs. He's getting twirls in the back. I mean, come on.
I've seen it.
Come on. You can't compare him.
23. Berlanga's 23. He's not 29. I mean,
Joey Spencer's 20 years old, Notch.
Yeah, why don't you cut him a break, man? He's just a kid.
Can't he?
Look at Nacho just piling on, man.
No. I'm just asking, what's legitimately the difference? Berlanga is not that much older, and he only has 4 more professional fights. But everybody dumps on Berlanga for fighting, no-hopers. So what's legitimately the difference between him and Spencer? That's all I'm asking you guys.
Just Berlanga.
I'll tell you the difference. The difference is they're hyping up Berlanga. I'll tell you what
100%. They're putting so much hype.
They're putting so much hype behind Berlanga. Well, if you put that much hype behind that guy, where he's going like, the second in, co-main or whatever, you're putting that much hype behind a guy, he's going to get more criticism. There
you go, Notch. That's very simple. Very simple to understand. The guy's on Instagram. Okay. He's sitting there talking all this mess or whatever. Joey Spencer's in the gym training. He's not freaking posing with Fat Joe and wearing all the bling bling and this and that. Put yourself out there. You're going to get criticized, Notch. You know how it is.
Spencer's not very, and Spencer's coming up. I mean, he's fighting.
Not everyone's low key
on these cards, but he's coming out first, second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not getting all the hype. He's not,
He's not getting the hype that Berlanga's getting. It's like he's like me and you, Notch. Like we're low key. We don't go out at night. We stay home. Maybe have some pasta with the family. That's what we do. These other guys, they want to go out and party. They want to go on Instagram. We're not out there shaking our asses on Instagram, Notch, because we're family men. That's how we are. Joey Spencer's a family man. He's training.
Think about that for a minute, Notch, huh?
Come on, Notch.
Yeah. Jesus. Got the kid a break, man.
Don't try to glorify the bling lifestyle.
JC.
Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Beat hero Teofimo Lopez is doing the same thing. I don't see you criticizing him for wearing the bling bling.
Because he's the champ. He's fighting everybody. He done beat the best guy in the world. He's the man. Friend of the show, by the way. Hey, Notch, let me ask you a question.
Are you still hating on Teofimo Lopez after he beat your hero? After he beat your hero, Lomachenko? You're still hating on this? You're still hating on this guy?
The hate is real.
Let's not get started with that again. We all know what happened. We all know what happened last time. We all know what happened last time, B.
Hey,
you got really emotional, and I'm not trying to, get to that point again.
I'm on the anxiety meds now. I'm a little bit less stressed out.
I've noticed that too. You can't take that away from you.
Okay.
He's been great. Nacho, who do you think gets more pay-per-view buys? Who do you think gets more pay-per-view buys? The Clarissa Shields pay-per-view or the Don King pay-per-view this past weekend?
Stop with this.
The only reason I would take Clarissa Shields is because that one's probably going to be better promoted. That's about it. That's really the only reason.
Nacho.
Yeah, I think it's going to be better promoted.
All right,
just because nobody knew anything about this Don King card.
Yeah, it came together
literally
last
everybody
minute.
was wondering it.
I heard it did over $1 million
they
buys.
Literally put everything together at the last minute.
I heard it did over $1 million buys.
If it got over $1 million buys,
that's what I heard.
If it got $1 million buys, Eric, I'd be shocked. So yeah,
that thing didn't even come close to $1 million buys, son.
No, that thing maybe gets about 5,000 buys if that.
Huh? I'm telling you, Beeb. I'm telling you, neither one of them pay-per-views are under 25K.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start running promos for this pay-per-view myself on the channel. I'm going to add. I'm going to advertise your pay-per-view.
That right?
I'm buying this pay-per-view myself. I'm going to put flyers up outside all over Revere.
All over Revere.
I'm gonna go down Boston.
I'm gonna get going, man.
I'm gonna go down Boston. I'm gonna put flyers up for this pay-per-view down Boston. I'm gonna really stop pushing this pay-per-view because I'm tired of this.
Flyers up all over Revere.
I'm tired of
all 2 blocks of Revere.
I'm tired of the disrespect for this pay-per-view.
Hey, B, where do the best callers come from?
Ohio, baby.
Ohio, son. Ohio, 614-OH.
IO.
It is.
Oh.
What's happening, man?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Pretty good. What a week, man, of boxing. Been a lot going on. I see y'all touched on the Ugas and Earl Spence possibly fighting. My thing, I was telling people, man, I was talking about Al Heyman being a advisor. A lot of people don't look at it. They look at it from a fan's point of view. They don't look at it from a promoter's or an advisor's point of view.
Right.
And I get that because they're not advisors or promoters. When you see guys like Ugas get the belt, the WBA, and possibly could be fighting Earl Spence, the first thing people will say, "Oh, yeah, that's the belt. That's going to be the next one being made." But if you look at it from a business standpoint, it don't make sense because Ugas doesn't have a name. And we have seen this in history. HBO have done it a few times when a fighter is fighting a unification and they have belts on the line, right? It doesn't mean it's going to sell. Hardcore pick it up, but casuals normally don't buy it. Crawford Victor Coastal was horrible. Didn't do good in the numbers. It shouldn't even been on pay-per-view. Triple G, David Lemieux, unification, did horrible numbers. Rosario, the Charlo brothers doubleheader. Rosario, that was unification. Hardcore was more pumping it up a little bit, like, oh, this is going to be a great fight. And most of those unifications all ended the same way. One-sided. Domination. No one talks about these unification fights as, oh my God, it was just amazing. It was one-sided. I feel the same thing will happen with Ugas and Earl Spence. How do you sell that on pay-per-view unless you feel Earl Spence is Floyd Mayweather, where he can just take anybody and you just get good numbers? If that's the route, then I understand it. But if that's not the route and you don't want to lose money, how about you use Keith Thurman against Ugas first? Let them fight. And it also helps Ugas because he brings more to the table instead of just a belt and a moral victory over Sean Porter. Because he's going to get more if he actually fights Thurman first, and it builds up the pay-per-view. And I think Al will look at it like that because he's also bringing another of his fighters inside this triangle, in this pool, instead of just Earl fighting Ugas and then possibly fighting Thurman next. Because on the side, to be honest, I don't think Earl is going to fight Crawford after if he beats Ugas. Let's say he beats Ugas, which I think he's going to do. I don't think he's going to go right into, okay, I got 3 belts, let's go. Because Al is obligated to the PBC side. There's Keith Thurman standing right there saying, you're going to let Crawford eat before me, and you're obligated to me? So this is where you have to think about an advisor, because he has to make sure his fighters eat first. So it makes sense to have Keith and Ugas fight first to build up the Thurman and an Earl fight, and then you cross the street. It's business.
Ohio. Why don't they just put Spence Ugas on Fox like G Funky said in the chat?
I think that's the move. I really do.
That's the move, bro.
Yeah.
That's smart. If it's free, I don't have no problem with it because
probably would be free. That wouldn't be on pay-per-view. They'd make that a free fight, I would think.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because if they go right into it, it has to be on free TV. It makes no sense to try to put. Yeah, they already do. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But
I agree. I
understand. You know, because I got people say, "Oh, they already agreeing to fight each other," and they showing they taking screenshots. They showing Ugas. I said, guys, why are y'all acting brand new? We see this all the time. Crawford and Earl didn't agree 2 or 3 years ago that they was gonna fight each other on social media. Ron Garcia, Tate agreed. They actually got video of them saying they're gonna fight each other. Where's the contract, guys?
They ain't gonna fight each other.
Like, we get so caught up. I don't know if they're gonna fight now. I mean, but it's crazy when we get that, man. We have those types when these people they get crazy when you definitely dealing with the fanboys. But as far as the Caleb Plant is he's a good boxer. I can see why people felt like they don't think he's ready for Canelo. My only thing is I don't know if he has enough pop to keep Canelo off of him. I think he marks very well. Wow. It's just that pop to keep those guys off. And Canelo, we still got to people forget Canelo still his kryptonite is cutting the ring off against a guy who can move. Canelo hasn't fought nobody like that in a while because that was his kryptonite. So we got to remember that. I just don't know. I think Cade can box. I just don't know if Canelo is able to solve that. And I think Canelo's got the better inside game. Canelo has a lot of things a little bit better than Cade, but I think Cade can box. I just don't know if his power.
Yeah, but Cade doesn't move. Cade doesn't move like Billy Joe Saunders. He does a lot of subtle movement. He tries to fight like Floyd Mayweather later in Floyd Mayweather's career, like how he just kind of planted himself and just invited you in and used the upper body movement. He doesn't use a lot of foot movement. He lets you come in. He tries to suck you into traps.
Right.
Yeah, he don't move a lot with his feet. Now Billy Joe moves a lot with his feet. That's
the fight.
That's the fight for Canelo to be tested for Billy Joe.
True. I always thought Billy Joe would be a big threat for Canelo because of style wise when it comes to that. You're right. He doesn't move as much as I was thinking he was moving. He doesn't because he does plant there. Uses that. But yeah, Canelo definitely got the edge in that fight. But it's the tables is gonna turn because if Canelo beats him, then people will come up with an excuse and they're gonna just try to turn on Canelo and say, "Oh, he still ain't fighting nobody."
Yeah, he gets a lot of hate.
Show you how good Canelo is because people are just going to keep adding. They're gonna keep pushing the goalposts on Canelo, man. It's crazy.
A lot of hate for that, man. A lot of hate for that, man. I don't know.
Get it. He's fought everybody. He's fought everybody.
Done everything he's supposed to do, but he still gets a lot of hate.
He's already got 2 fights signed. Am I right? This year.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, he's fighting Saunders in May also.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yildirim and Saunders, yeah, and then he'll fight again in September.
Right. who's doing that and they're a top fighter? Like, what top fighter you can name that's doing that already got fight style like that?
Right.
Nobody.
Not many people doing that, brother.
Nobody. But that's my call, guys. I didn't want to say anything else. That's it.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Ohio. As usual, Ohio Runs Boxing. You can catch him on Facebook on Ohio Runs Boxing, man. Go catch him. He's always got good stuff on there. 508.
From this day, you'll be my new fool.
Jesus.
Georgie
Mother of
from
God.
Rikers.
Hey, yo!
Oh, shit.
What's happening, people? Yo, I ain't mad about Ugas being a champ.
How dare
They
you?
make that expensive fight. That's a good fight.
Listen to this guy.
I ain't mad about it.
So what do you think about Pacquiao? What do you think about Pacquiao?
Make that.
What do you think about Pacquiao being the champion in recess? What do you think about that?
You know I don't give a fuck about that junkie. Go fuck about that junkie.
Jeez, that was
Then you get to go
harsh.
take a fucking swimming on that Miracle Ocean shit.
Wow, that was harsh.
Out of here, man.
That was rough.
Listen,
Man.
ain't nobody got time for no Pacquiao. Pacquiao might have old. These men gotta hang it up already.
Rough, man.
He's a congressman. You can't talk about him like that. He's a congressman.
Make it happen.
He's a congressman. You can't talk about him like that.
Yeah, he leads a country. Well, I mean, him and that other guy, Duarte or whatever.
Listen.
How are you going to talk about him like
Yo,
that?
you
Congressman.
You seen that nigga Lynch? B. Yo, B.
Yes.
You heard about that dude Lynch, the congressman?
No, what happened?
Yo. He got the first shot, then he got the second shot, and he came out positive any fucking way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he could have had it before
He's a
then.
congressman from our state, Lynch.
Yeah, but he could have had it before then. Yeah, but he could have had it before then. It's not foolproof. I mean, because it's two shots. It's two shots.
Nigga, that's on the paper.
3 to 4 weeks apart. Yeah,
he got both shot.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the first shot protects you. The first shot protects you like 50%. And then the next shot protects you like 90-some%. That's why you have to have 2 doses. So it's plausible that he could have had that during the shot. After the first shot, he caught it.
Well, he could have had it right before he got the shot, and then the second came afterwards.
And there is a chance you could still get it even after the shot.
I'm on record, Eric, I'm on record telling you guys a year ago that the motherfucking shot not going to do shit for you because it's going to mutate. The mutation's already happening. Listen, you just don't even bother with this shit. Just let it be. Don't even pay no mind to that shit. Stay in your house, whatever.
The best part about this whole thing, Beeb, the best part about this whole thing, we trashed Georgie when he came out about a year ago when he said COVID's coming, and he said, you guys are talking about boxing, and I said, yeah, COVID's just like the flu or whatever. A year later, we're all wearing masks and getting shots and everything. Things are closed down, and maybe we should start listening to Georgie. I don't know, man.
No, I'll never listen to Georgie.
You know what's funny? What's funny? Really think about this shit, because people they like to see themselves like really intelligent and whatnot. But really think about this shit. Every year, people got to take the flu shot. I've never taken a flu shot in my fucking life. Let me just start with that. But every year, people got to take a flu shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because allegedly, there's different strengths of fucking flu.
That's
14, 19, 14, 15, the different strengths of it, right?
That is true, yes.
So how the fuck this motherfucker know what he's gonna mutate into to have that show ready for the upcoming year?
Well, don't they take a bunch of strains? There's a bunch of strains, and they know which one is most likely to be the most popular strain.
So
that's how they make. That's how they make the flu shot. Doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu.
Yeah, but supposedly, that all the strains have a similar protein in them. They're supposed to say, and the vaccine's supposed to work on all of them. So they
on the COVID thing, on the COVID side,
on the COVID thing. So I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is.
I don't know.
But that's not true because the delivery system of the COVID-19 is the same delivery system that they got for AIDS. That's why a lot of people think that is man-made.
He said that's
but
not
getting
true.
Somewhere else. Fuck all that bullshit.
The fucking delivery system. Are you listening to this?
Baby.
The delivery system.
He came out and said that's not true. Like he just knew it for a fact.
I know for a fact because I'm a hard when it comes to all this bullshit. You guys think that I don't know shit because I just don't give a fuck what people think about me. But I do know a lot of shit. Anyway, what the fuck we got planned? Yo, Plan did what he could do. We Truax 37, what is it, 39 years old. And man, yo, all these people, man, baby, we want to see young blood. We don't want to see these people. All these people's time already passed. I don't understand why they bring these people out here for what. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. People, Plan right now he's being criticized. Even though he won every single fucking round, nobody liked the competition and the fight. How could these people don't see this shit coming? I just don't get it. That's how we get the Gamboas and the Ortizes and these motherfuckers mad. Oh, what the fuck, my G? What's wrong with Young? When Young became the enemy of boxing, can somebody explain that to me? Yo.
I'm speechless, man. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that question. I'm speechless. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
No, bro, but what's wrong with Young, baby? I'm from that era. Trinidad, 19 years old champ. Vargas, 21 years old. Benitez, 17 years old. What the fuck happened with that? How come that these men... Listen, this is the problem with Crawford. That's the problem with Deontay Wilder. These motherfuckers want to make the fight at the end. All the way when they pass their fucking prime. Then nobody gives two fucks about it. It's too late. We don't want to see it now. Shove it up your fucking ass.
I already said that. That's what they do. They wait.
And then they won the props. Robin.
No, I was saying that earlier. I said that this morning when I made that video that they wait to the last possible minute to make the fights. I already said that.
You done said it.
I agree.
That constant thing that keep going and the message don't go to where it's supposed to go. We all want the same. All the boxing fans want the same shit. Now Crawford gonna give us a fight if he ever happened after his prime. He's past his prime, baby. This is scientific fucking fact that after you pass 33, 34 years old, your body's not the same. I don't give a fuck when anybody say, yeah, heavyweight because they don't have to lose weight. They can extend the fucking boxing life more into the older, later years. I give you that as a heavyweight. Yeah, we make that exception. But in all rules and boxing, baby, after 33, any day you old. After 33, any day you get old in there. It's not the same. I don't want to see that shit.
I agree.
I ain't got much to say. Shout out to the USA. Shout out to the UK. And I'm Maori.
All right, Georgie.
Have a good one, brother.
How about that was caller of the year? How about that?
Not caller of the year.
Let's go to California. 760. You're live. And then again, maybe you're not.
Hello?
760.
Hello,
760. You're live.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're up, man. What's up?
Yeah, who's this?
Who are we talking to?
Yeah, Mike Jerry.
Gary?
Yeah, so I just Mike Jerry. So I just tuned into the show, so I'm kind of wondering what you guys are talking about.
Oh, okay. So you were just listening?
Yeah, they did a review on the fight. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll put you back on. I'm sorry about that. All right, hang on.
Mike Jerry.
Mike Jerry. All right. Look at that. First time caller, baby. How about that? First time. Next time he'll have something to say. He won't be listening. He'll be in the mix, baby. In the conversation.
In the mix, baby.
Be in the mix, man. All right, guys, that'll do it. We're about out of news here. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib
from Boston.
I love that sound effect. I just do. I love it. I love it. I like those commercials. You ever see those commercials?
Yeah.
Best commercials ever, man.
They're the best.
The guy from Boston. You can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at JHabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73. And we will catch you guys next week.
Have a good one.